Satnam, I'm Nirvair Singh Khalsa, and here we are in the month of November, and it is that time of gratitude because the harvest has come in. That's really the natural order of things in the northern hemisphere at this time of year, is that there's celebrations to celebrate the harvest. And people were grateful. If it was a great harvest, they were grateful. If it was a small harvest, they were grateful. Still had that attitude, as Yogi Bhajan says, that attitude of gratitude for being grateful what the great Mother Earth has given us. And so it's a good, even though we live in an industrial society now, we're not quite in the agrarian type society that was even 100 years ago or 200 years ago. Still a good idea to cultivate that attitude of gratitude. On my way over to the shoot this morning, I was listening to a new CD by Gurshubhad Singh. You probably know him from Pavana Pavana. He actually did one of the first versions of Ray Man, and very nice version with this 12-string guitar. But he has a new album that he did with his son, Hargobind Hadi, Hargo, as producer, and it's called Nectar. The first cut is Nam Nidan, is Amrit Nam Nidana Hai. And, that translates as the nectar name is the greatest treasure of all. As I was thinking about that, really, the greatest treasure, I've got in my mind treasure as being like, Scrooge McDuck or doubloons and, pirates and treasure and things like that. But on the other hand, yeah, it does make a lot of sense to me. And why would that be, that the nectar name? The idea is that the nectar, that's the internal juice, the rasa, is stimulated through the glandular system and the nervous system. This is really the basis of Kundalini Yoga as taught by Yogi Bhajan. And you stimulate that internally from the inside by this repetition that the yogis have determined really produce these certain effects. And that is, you've got the 84 meridians in the mouth. By moving your tongue a certain way, it does stimulate these higher glands, pituitary, pineal, hypothalamus, that kind of thing. And you get this feeling of relaxation, of connection with all there is. And so, actually, in a certain sense, what could be a better treasure than that? In any event, so you've got that, but you need a lot of things in your life. All these things. You need, good exercise, good food. You need, good relationships. What you don't need is actually probably a lot more things. And have to realize that our Western societies are pushing you that kind of the treasures are those things that you don't the physical things that you don't have outside of you, when actually what you really might need is a good conversation with somebody, someone to talk over your situation, someone's shoulder to cry on, some kind of connection with another human being. But the thing that you actually really need the most, and this is Yogi Bhajan, it's one of his repetitive themes, is you need this spiritual self-sovereignty. I heard a lecture recently when he was talking about what he looks for a person is not the fact that they're spiritual, okay? Because from his point of view, that doesn't mean much. What he looks for is, do they have that attitude? He called it an imperial attitude. Do they have that, grace and self-recognition that they can live as a spiritually sovereign being? And so how do you get that spiritual self-sovereignty, that imperial attitude in nature within your own self? Well, you do it through balance and through really a conscious effort of identifying yourself with that part of you that recognizes and relates to your higher self. So remember last month we did this Kriya, which I don't think I'm going to stop actually. Yogi Bhajan said do it for 90 days, and so I think I'm going to keep going with that because I'm finding that shift. I was just talking to a doctor friend of mine, and he thinks the mudra, the second part of this mudra, works on the pericardium. And I've noticed a shift in frequency in my heart center by doing that. So I'm going to keep doing that, but I'm going to add to the one we're going to be doing this month, which actually works on balancing and the chakras from the heart center up. It's from the best-selling Kundalini Yoga manual of all times, Kundalini Yoga Sadhana Guidelines, called Meditation for Broja. This is something that Yogi Bhajan taught in the very early days. Really simple meditation. There's going to be a mudra like this. So you're going to have, for gentlemen, you're going to have the right hand over the left with the thumbs touching. For women, you're going to have the left hand on top and the thumbs touching. We're going to do this for 11 minutes. And then you're going to hold this up over the top of your head with the elbows bent. You'll be in neck lock, and your eyes are going to be open, gazing at your top lip, or in my case, my mustache. You're going to be forcing the eyes down, and the eyes will close a little bit, but the eyes are open. And you really want to stay in neck lock with this. We'll use the tune-in mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo, before we start. We'll do it for 11 minutes. And we're going to chant the mantra Waheguru in a very kind of soft, sweet way. Waheguru, wow wisdom. Mantra of Guru Gobind Singh. That ecstasy of consciousness of the wisdom. And you're going to say it in a very kind of soft, beautiful way with a breath in between each repetition. Each repetition takes maybe 2.5 or 3 seconds. And the Guru part is almost very soft. It's almost a whispered type mantra. Very, very sweet way of chanting this mantra. And you really want to pronounce the mantra accurately. Wa, like water. Hey, like stuff horses eat. And you kind of smile when you say it. Guru, flicking that tongue up against the roof of the mouth to stimulate that meridian. Wahe Guru. Okay, let's practice the mantra a few times through so you can get the rhythm and the pacing. So bring the hands up. Remember, left hand on the top for ladies, right hand on the top for gentlemen. Bring the hands up overhead. Neck lock, eyes open, press them down, look past the upper lip. Wahe Guru. Wahe Guru. It's hard to stop. It's really so sweet. And so right at the end, just rest with the hands in the lap. Feel the mantra. Feel the balance. Really what this Kriya is for, meditation for Broja, is to allow you to have trust in your higher self. And that develops the attitude, not only the attitude of gratitude, but that imperial nature, that spiritual self-sovereignty. And so, let's feel grateful for whatever great Mother Earth gives us this month, in terms of the bounty that she always provides. If we want to act and react in joy to whatever comes towards us this month, let's be grateful for it. And let's trust our higher selves and develop that ability to trust our higher selves by doing this meditation together. Okay, so we'll see you in December. Satnam.